We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Terry Brewer. Lynn Brooks has the evening off. Today marks 20 years since the day many people in Alabama and other states remember very well. We are talking about the blizzard of 1993, and we've got some different perspectives on this story. WVUA reporter Travis Leader is at the National Weather Service in Calera, and Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott will take a look back at this historic weather event. Travis Leader begins our coverage of our top story at 5 o'clock, live from the National Weather Service.
Hey Terry, it was a day many meteorologists remember to this very day if they lived through it here in the state of Alabama, and some say this was Alabama's winter storm of the century. According to the National Weather Service, the storm caused $2 billion worth of damage throughout the United States. Although Alabamians remember the storm's impact locally, snow hit all the way from the Alabama Gulf Coast down in Mobile up through Canada. Some areas in Alabama were without power for a whole week, and many areas throughout central Alabama had a foot of snow. The storm shattered many records across the state of Alabama. Some claim these extreme weather events like the 93 superstorm and other events like Hurricane Sandy are happening because of climate change. Meteorologist John DeBlock says that we should be ready to anticipate these record events regardless of the climate situation.
We've had record-setting tornado outbreaks, we've had record-setting blizzards. I think regardless of what the climate trends are, we're going to continue to see extreme events as we go forward in time.
Now I'll have more here from the National Weather Service on WVUA News at 6 and 10. WVUA Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott is in the WVUA Weather Center. Richard, I remember you telling me that you remembered this storm just like it was yesterday.
Yeah, Travis, I'm actually from Linden down in Marengo County. We had very heavy snow down there. In fact, I remember power being out for a while. An incredible snowstorm to talk about affected a huge chunk of Alabama. What happened? You have this deep area of low pressure that tracks along the northern Gulf of Mexico, really cold air in place, a very vigorous storm system and cold air mixed with produced a lot of snow around here. And a very heavy band of snow developed across the state of Alabama. That moved on towards the northeast, producing blizzard conditions from Alabama all the way into the New England states. Incredible storm, certainly one that will go down in history. But here's some of the snow totals we talked about. And again, this is from the blizzard of 93. We talked 10 to 20 inches for much of central and west Alabama. Other parts of the state seeing about 4 to 10 inches, but down where I'm from, down in Linden, I was actually a kid down there when the blizzard happened. We saw close to 10 inches of snow down there. So incredible snowstorm to talk about. Hey, we'll talk about the rest of the forecast, which includes warmer temperatures. No snow to talk about. That's coming up in Home Team Weather, so stick around.
All right, thank you, Richard. Those sequestration budget cuts from Washington could mean Tuscaloosa would lose its air traffic control tower, and one air traffic controller is trying to get the message out that he thinks that's a very bad idea. Tuscaloosa Regional Airport is on the list for losing its control tower. That's where the controllers keep planes a safe distance from each other. Tuscaloosa controller Russell Davis has been working to make sure the closure doesn't happen. He believes it would affect the safety of pilots and passengers and revenue for the city.
If them big freighters like the 737s and the 727s decide it's not safe to land here anymore, they will go somewhere else to unload the freight or load it up, and which is going to take business away from BAM Air, which of course takes business from the city, the tax dollars and the whole 9 yards. So it's all a chain reaction.
Davis says if the cut takes effect, he and the other controllers would lose their jobs. He says April 7th is when the cuts could go into effect. Students in the Tuscaloosa County schools will go from block schedule to an 8-period day starting in August. The Tuscaloosa County School Board has given the green light to the plan. The central office administrators say the next step is to help teachers with teaching methods that are effective with an 8-period day. Secondary Education Director Amanda Cassidy says even though there may be more classes, one goal is to make sure students and teachers don't have too much on their plate.
We're also looking at like testing schedules so they don't all have a test on Friday, or for the teachers helping them with assignments so they don't have, to 150 papers to grade each night.
Educators also say parents will need to help students with time management skills since they'll be focused on more subjects at once. And be sure to join us at 6 o'clock tonight when we'll look at plans in the works at the Tuscaloosa County Schools to take school security up a notch. That's tonight on WVUA News at 6. On your Crime Watch, investigators are looking for a man who they believe touched a woman inappropriately at a store. Tuscaloosa police say it happened at the Target store in Tuscaloosa, and they want to find the suspect. Police say it happened on February 26th. That was a Tuesday. Now here's a look at the man police want to find and his vehicle. They're both on your screen. The 27-year-old victim said a man walked by her twice and touched her both times. Now, if you know the man or you have information on this case, you can call 205-752-STOP, or you can text TUSC and the suspect's information to crimes 274637.